Hi, guys. This is our second podcast of America Break Your Silence. Today, our topic is pregnancy and health of a mother and unborn children. And everybody knows I've been breaking my silence. I'm a mother of 9 children, and 3 of my children has autistic syndrome. And I was like, I just don't understand how my children are autistic. Of course, I've heard everything under the sun. Well, you're a Jew and lots of Jews have, autism and, all the 9 yards. And, I got to thinking about my pregnancies and how I was treated and the stress that I was under. My firstborn has autism, and that pregnancy was riddled with my ex, who was mentally controlling, and just his entire life was a lie. So there was a lot of crying in that pregnancy. And then, I have my other son, who has autism, and during that pregnancy, I was beat down at 31 weeks and severe stress and being screamed at, and was told I was a Southern bigot and all the above because they didn't understand that, yes, I had fallen short, but I had been in ministry for years. And so, they didn't know who I was. And, I see my son sucking his hand on the screen, and I'm crying out to my ex, and he just didn't hear. And I've gone through so much torment as a result of having my little boy. And I just didn't let anything stop me. And now I have another little girl where I had to do physical labor while I was pregnant, while her father sat and rocked on a rocking chair and played games all day. Meanwhile, I'm paying nannies, and I'm working like a man and under severe strain and stress. And I just began to put the pieces together and started to look up for myself if pregnancy and being mistreated is a result of autism. A lot of people are saying it's shots and all these other things, and I don't know necessarily if it's shots. I've given my baby shots, and I kind of delay a little bit, and by the time they go to school, they always have all their shots. But my other kids got their shots, same thing, and they didn't have autism. So I just began to realize that it's extremely crucial for fathers to understand the importance of a mother's health, well-being, emotionally, physically, because we have little lives hanging in the balance. And we can't mistreat the mother of our children, and especially while she's pregnant. And then also I want to discuss, something it was just kind of very blatantly obvious. Women nowadays are, working harder than ever. Some of us obviously like men, and as well as giving birth. So, giving birth alone takes a lot of physical life out of a mother. I mean, she's really, pushed to the limits with her body. And then you've got, women that are being stressed out, being left to hang and do all the responsibilities. And you got fathers out there who are hurting the mothers of their children without any care of the effects of the mother's health and well-being, and how it would affect his children if something were to happen to that mother, because they're just so geared onto this control and abusive behavior that they can't seem to see anything beyond what they're doing. So we really got to be a voice, because we have young mothers dying younger and younger every day. And a lot of this has to do with the strain and stress that is placed upon their bodies. And, we've really got to take in consideration how our children would feel if something were to happen to the mothers of our children. And, causing major duress to our mothers in our world is not the way mothers should be treated. So, again, we started Women Empower Us, and we are fighting a really hard battle, and that is to make women's lives so much easier. They're not walking to the stores and stressed because they don't have a car to take their babies to the doctors. And it's very hard for a mother to hear that their children are crying for anything that they need or they're lacking or not being able to fulfill their dreams. I've had so many fathers say, I had one guy say, well, I made my ex even tell me if she was buying toilet paper. I'm just like, honestly, you put your kids in any type of sports. I mean, I have a guy, his kid's in baseball, and it cost this guy $3,500 to go on one of their baseball events. It is not cheap, everybody, to raise children and to give them the life so that they can grow and be everything that they can be, and to enhance whatever talents that God gave them. Whether you've got a child who could maybe one day be the next baseball or football star or basketball star, or you've got some young girl who wants piano lessons because she wants to be this greatest musician under the sun. And if we are not helping the mothers of our children do all those amazing things to give these children the greatest future, there's something very wrong. But we're finding that these men are doing that because, oh, well, she can't have a penny. And yet the mother is feeding those babies every day. The mother is fighting to keep a roof over that child's head. And what about the little, your child being able to go to summer school at Hebrew school? For us, that's what we are. We're Jews, and you're not giving the proper help to facilitate this child to be molded and his dreams to come true. This child that, maybe he could go to Disney World. Oh, what is the big deal? Why don't we bless the mothers of our children? Bless them. Not make them struggle and stress, because, one day that child is going to grow up and maybe that mother might not be around anymore, because the stress brings on all kinds of calamities, whether it's cancer or different things that can happen in the body. And it is extremely important that mothers don't feel this at all. And so, we hurt one another. We hurt our future, our children's future. And, that child will long for that mother. We've got to be considerate of these mothers and children. And we have really gotten off the path of what we're supposed to do for our women and children. And that is to empower them, provide for them, take care of them, and enhance their lives. And we're really missing the boat here. Anyway, guys, thanks for joining us today. Again, America, break your silence. And that is the name of our show. And we are going to blow up all issues with our women and today's life and laws. And thanks so much. And we look forward to you on Monday. Have a great afternoon.